Okay, welcome to the final tutorial on throw and hit. We should be up to this point right now where we have the two cats on either side of the screen. We have a ton of variables in here. We have a ton of messages that are all specified for the right side or left side of the screen. I don't know if you use player one or player two, player A or player B, but I always thought that left and right were much more helpful. Right? We're able to fire things out of each other and, of course, change the distance and height at which we are throwing. At this point now, we want to add on some new elements to make our game more interesting for the player. If we think back to our original vision of what game we were trying to recreate was this Gorillas game. Really cool they used angle and velocity as opposed to our X and Y velocity that we have right here. A big part of this game are all these buildings that the gorillas are standing on. It seems like there are a bunch of them that are just preloaded into the game, and it brings you up and has the gorillas standing on these random places that have these obstacles that are in the way. A great part about having different Y positions in addition to different X positions is if this gorilla is throwing at this one and you're on the same Y coordinate, this gorilla can copy the numbers and throw them back. This takes that out of it, where the answer for this gorilla is going to be different for this gorilla because it's going to have a different angle and velocity in which they're throwing them at. That's one of the places in which our example falls short over here, where we don't change the Y position, so they're going to be able to duplicate what the other person throws and adjust it from there. Another interesting element we could put into our new game is for the example here. When you see the bananas being thrown, they actually rotate, they spin like you were throwing a banana through the air, and it gives it just a little bit more effect to make it a little bit more realistic. One of the ways we do that is with costume changes. You can see all the costume changes over here. It may look a little bit more fluid if we had more increments at which things were rotated. If there were 8 different costumes or 10 different costumes, where it rotated every 45 degrees for costume changes, that may make it look a little bit better. If we look into our code, it really is a simple just next costume somewhere when it's spinning and traveling through the air. Other things we may want to add on this, other than the different maps or the different levels, you could put the pause button in the high score. We may want to have some other targets that come in from time to time. A lot of people I know have changed how the angle and velocities are set on here, which makes the game more interesting and maybe make it more fun to play. So there's obviously a lot of possibilities. I wish you the best on making this. Add a few extra elements and make your game more awesome.